Ayo, welcome to the Luck Management Podcast. Today's episode is one of the coolest episodes I've done in a long time, and it hits deep because it is a neighbor and a friend of mine, Eric Jones. Now, you may know that name because he is one of the quintessential Savannah Bananas. He is an awesome baseball player, an even better friend, somebody that I have grown up with, admired, and appreciate all the work and time that he puts into his craft. He's a baseball player and he's a performer.
Jones collapses, and we're going to need some assistance from his teammates to get him to first base. Looks like they slapped some sunglasses on him, and they're going to weekend at Bernie's him to first base.
I love this one. This is very creative on the part of the Bananas.
Oh, man. So EJ works the count full, and with the help of Noah Bridges and DJ the Invader, they will drag him to first and slap him down on a chair. Eric will just have the get-a-hit side situated between his legs.
And he's doing amazing things. So we walk through and talk through the whole idea and psychology around the baseball team and how they grow their sport, how Savannah Bananas is different, but also looking at his baseball career. He was a hell of a baseball player, great guy, even better person. I am so excited for you guys to listen to this episode. I can't wait for all of you to be able to go see him in the future. Check him out on Instagram and social media. He does a lot of great videos. He's gone viral so many times. So without further ado, this episode is always brought to you by Charm ND, and keep living the luck management lifestyle. Let's do it.
Ayo, welcome back to the Luck Management Podcast, episode number 64 of the Luck Management Lifestyle, brought to you by 62, 64 is one of those, brought to you by Charm ND, a world of guests, but this one might be the one I'm most excited for. We've got Eric Jones in the house. Not just my old neighbor, one of my best friends from high school, but a Savannah Banana baseball player that has traveled the country. Eric Jones, this is awesome to have you on the pod. Welcome.
Man, I'm excited to be on. It's been a long time coming. Been listening to the pod since the Jay Chillin days, so it's an honor to finally be on here with you.
Hey, that's a throwback. Jay Chillin days back in 2019, the Jay Chillin podcast. I got to drop some of those episodes at some point. But, dude, it has been a long time coming. I know that we've always joked, and to see you now get into first following your passion, like living the luck management lifestyle, being put into some pretty lucky situations and making the most out of it, to now being in the content game, dude. I see you in the content game. It's awesome. I love it, man.
The content game has definitely been different for me. It's something that the Bananas are focused on, trying to have us individually grow our online presence.
Yep.
So it's been fun. It's been challenging. It requires me to think creatively and outside of the box, which is why I like being with the Bananas in the first place, just because I'm interacting with the game of baseball in a different way, and I get to do things that I wouldn't otherwise get to do just playing baseball, like acting and entertaining and improv stuff. So I'm excited to keep growing on social media, getting some good ideas, pumping them out, and definitely like inspired a little bit from what I've seen from you, just pumping out content. I hear that's the key. Just keep making it, and
I know
eventually it'll
that's what
catch
they say,
fire. Yeah,
right?
keep
They just
posting,
say
you get
keep
better.
going.
That's what they say.
It's like, yeah, yeah, don't forget to put in your 20 years of content and then it'll pop. It will someday, but just
Dude,
don't give up.
I was listening to Matt Rife on some interview, and he was like, "Yeah, I was doing it for years, posting my comedy, and then it was one video that blew up. It got 30 million views, and then every one of my previous videos blew up,
Yeah.
and next thing I'm selling out huge stadiums. Like it was that fast."
I mean, Shane Gillis, Matt Rife, Carter Loach, then Eric Jones.
That's it.
It'll pop
That's
up.
it. Luck Management Podcast.
Luck Management Podcast. Don't forget. um, yeah, man, I have seen some like really cool posts. Like your TikTok, man, has, and we'll get the socials up and stuff. But it's cool to see you doing a connection of baseball, one of your passions, something that I've seen you play since what, eighth grade when
Uh-huh.
our team fucking destroyed your team. Um, and all the way to
I
like
hit a home
playing
run.
in college. Yeah, you did. You tanked one. And then all the way to playing in college and bouncing around. I want to get into your full career of baseball, and then leading into this new age baseball. Like you guys are leading the charge of making baseball fun again. Like that should be your slogan.
That basically is the slogan. I mean, the like motto for the company, the mission or whatever is fans first, entertain always. So I think the whole reason it's gotten so big is because the emphasis is on the fans. Like if you come to one of these games, it's just like guaranteed the best time you're gonna have at a sporting event.
Yeah,
Um, it really like makes other sporting events kind of seem like slow and boring by comparison because there's so many immersive opportunities for you to interact with the players, interact with the staff,
totally.
um, have these really cool experiences that you can't have anywhere else. And that's what they're focused on as we start to scale up. We're playing in 6 major league stadiums this year. And
Which
the
ones?
focus, so we're playing in Houston, Miami, Cleveland, Washington, Philly, and okay, that's 5.
We'll get another one in there. It'll
Yeah,
come.
good ones
Dude,
though.
that that's insane, dude. Like
Yeah,
when you said like I want to play baseball, who would have thought that you'd be on a team that actually might be a little, I mean, hey, you love baseball, you love playing, you're a good hitter, you're a good catcher, good playing third and stuff. But who would have thought that you'd be able to travel to these places, entertain, make fans, and like make kids' days? Like I get it, if you hit a home run, you're probably making a kid's day. Like, whoa, that was amazing. But like you're literally like dancing, having fun, throwing a Fortnite dance out there that they can actually relate to and get
right.
some interested.
Yeah, and like you go over, you meet the kids that are on the line. Like if I'm playing first base, I'll come over, wave to everybody. I'll go over, talk to the people that are on the line. Make sure if I get a ball that can go out, like I'm throwing it to those people, throwing balls out to the people in the stands. So it's just like a totally different way to interact with the game where it's like all these fans are here for you. And it's like, how can I give them like a memory that they're going to remember or make them happy or just like have a cool interaction with them, do something to entertain them, get them to cheer for me, versus like in baseball, you just focus on the game. You basically
Yeah.
trying to act like the crowd isn't there. Um, so
Yeah. You don't even want to think that they're there. And yours,
right,
it's like, I'm about to hit this bomb and everyone's going to go crazy.
yeah, it's like this is my crowd. What can I do for them? Like they're pulling for me. So it's a fun way. It's changed like how I look at, like I said, sporting events. How I look at baseball. Um,
For
like
good
they
or
say
bad.
that. Oh, for good, I would say. At least in a fun way.
Yeah.
So Um, yeah, my experience has been great. It's gonna be really fun as we keep moving to the bigger stadiums and taking it other places. It's always fun. Like when we go on the road, the crowds are so excited to see us because they've been on wait lists. It's been a
Yeah.
grind for them to get these tickets, and it'll be like we're only playing 2 nights or something in a town. So people are coming from all over for that game, and there's just like a special buzz when we take it on the road. Um,
Yeah, I mean, so you guys have done this huge world tour, but you still have the stadium. And I remember hearing that back in the day, it was like all inclusive.
yep.
Now, is it just buy the ticket and then you're in the stadium, so you get your own other concessions, or is it still like an all or nothing sort of thing? How
Yeah.
does that work?
At home, it's still inclusive. So food, drink, popcorn, snacks, basically everything but the alcohol is included with the
Nice.
ticket. So I actually got to go. The other team that we normally play against, the Party Animals, had
Boo! Boo!
they had their own headlining game. They had one game last year where they played a team that came in from Australia. And so I went to that game, and to like walk into a sporting event and just grab free food, free sodas, free chicken
Yeah.
sandwich and popcorn. It's like, wow, like never had that type of experience before. Like normally
Hmm.
you're paying $10 for a sandwich and $8 for a drink, and
And you
you
have to
know,
miss a half inning and you're like
you're
running because you
missing.
want to be quick. Yeah.
They got all the stuff streamlined, and they just hand you the food, and you're back to the game, and you're not missing any time, and it's just like it felt really cool. It felt like it was about you, the fan, which I think is why so many people resonate with what we're doing. And then that,
Thousands of people are going, dude. You're
oh
on
yeah,
ESPN all the time.
oh yeah, we're gonna be selling out stadiums with 40 to 45,000 plus.
Is it Globe Trot? I mean, I know we've just jumped into this, which has been awesome so far, but like, is it, does he even attribute it to a little bit of like Globetrotter-esque, but also like P.T. Barnum, like how he built like the circus and stuff like that? Like,
Yeah,
it's a whole theatrical experience.
yes, that's actually. I mean, he, the owner, looks to PT Barnum a lot for inspiration. I think that's one of his big kind of role models. Him and Walt Disney, I think, are the two that
Yeah,
like he looks at to like kind of try to replicate the fire that they caught. We get the Globetrotter comparison a lot, which I think is fair because it's like the closest thing to what we're doing.
yeah,
But the thing that we don't love about the Globetrotter comparison is just that those games are
staged.
one-sided. Yeah, they're staged, and our games are true competition. We're building a new sport um,
Yeah.
that has these entertainment elements and is trying to attract players that are able to perform and entertain at the same time.
So on that end, the performance, yeah, it's like they have a script on some of the Globetrotters, like they know how it's going to go. But the way that you guys play your game, you guys have to be on your toes at all moments. Like you don't know what's going to actually happen, but you maybe know that like, hey, in this second inning, we want to do like maybe this dance, or like we're
Yeah.
gonna um the pitcher's gonna be on stilts this time around. Like,
Mhm.
is that how it's kind of uh like warmed up, or like how you guys figure, okay, what's today gonna look like?
So it's all off of like the situation
Okay.
where we know that if we score a run, this is going to be the celebration.
Okay.
If we hit a home run, this is going to be the celebration. If we get a strikeout, this is going to be the celebration. So it gives you that extra motivation to have those things happen. Like
Yeah, yeah.
coming into the game, if you're like, oh, I know. So here's an example. We had a really cool home run celebration planned where it was going to be like WWE Money in the Bank. People are swarming around the ladder, and then the
Yeah.
guy that hits the home run pushes him out of the way, climbs up the ladder, opens the briefcase. Um,
Cool.
so we had that planned. And so as a hitter, I'm like, I'm hitting the home run. Like, I want to be the one to do
I
that.
want to do that. Yeah.
Sure enough, I did, and it made an awesome clip and an awesome memory. And it just gives you that extra like motivation every day to be like, I want to be the guy like getting it done, whether it's pitchers with strikeouts.
Yeah.
We have stuff where uh if you get hit as a batter, you have that planned out too. So we did one.
Limping, limping
Yeah,
along.
exactly. So we did one where I got hit, fall down, act like I die, and it's like Weekend at Bernie's where
Yeah,
they
I
carry you
saw that.
off, put the
Where they carried
sunglasses
you.
on.
Like, that's just fun in a world
Yes.
and in a sport that maybe doesn't get considered as being so much fun, or like
Yeah.
that, like, hey, we're trying to make the game faster so people don't have to be here for 4 hours. You guys
Yeah.
are getting people actually interested. And I guarantee you, there's kids that are growing up being like, I want to be a Savannah Banana.
Oh,
and
by the dozens.
and one other thing is that you the intersection of sports and competition, also with that entertainment, that drive and like your ability to want to keep playing better baseball but also be good at your craft, that's why like all the best medical salesmen are former athletes. That's why like people that are like really competitive, they know that they always need to look for maybe that new video, that new trend, that new um, thing to keep track of their body or take care of themselves. So like you're in that mindset already, and they're just
Mm.
like, it's promoting it even more. It's
Yeah, it
cool.
really amplifies that because um it's like somebody's got to have the spotlight. And once you get like used to knowing what that feels like, a lot of times I feel like in baseball it's like you're almost like trying to shy away from having a spotlight on you. You just
Yeah.
like want to do your job, help the team win. Um, this is like, how can I get that spotlight directed on me? Like, how can I do something that's gonna like make this crowd go crazy, or perform really well on social media, or just like create a cool moment that people will remember from all the craziness that's already happening around you. Because there's so
Yeah.
much from the time you walk in the stadium, and even when you're standing in line to get in the stadium, it's fully immersive, entertaining always. Um, just a really unique experience.
It really does seem like you've bought in and like you really enjoy this aspect of it. And you're with guys that are also in belief of like, hey, this is something really cool.
Yeah.
How what is your favorite like moment from Savannah Bananas that you've experienced?
I mean, all the home runs are really
Yeah,
the
you're a home
best.
run leader, dude.
Yeah.
Every time I see the stat line, it's just home run leader, Eric Jones,
Yeah.
every time.
Yep. So I knew like I had that potential to do that, and I wanted to like solidify myself in that manner. And
He hits tanks.
that's it. That's a good thing. That's always gonna have value. And I've been able to like take a lot of steps of growth in like other aspects
The
outside of
launch
just
angle.
playing baseball. I mean, yeah, you got to hit the ball in the air. You got to hit it hard. You got to hit it hard first and then hit it in the air hard. But I knew that like that could be an angle that would be beneficial for me. So like that was definitely something I was focused on. Like I didn't lead the tour in average, but I led it in bombs.
That's
And
hey, chicks
that's a
dig
that's
the
a good
long
trade-off.
ball, bro.
That's a good trade-off.
That's a great trade-off, man. I could just see that. Yeah, you have to have a thing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody needs a thing. Like, oh, he's the really fast guy.
Yeah.
He's the jokester. But like, if you can hit home runs, then it like opens up all the other avenues. You could be a dancer, you could do this or that, but then he's gonna hit the bomb.
Yeah. Now that's why I've been working on like some gymnastic stuff too. Um,
Yeah,
just trying to,
calisthenics and stuff, flexibility.
yeah, like going to gymnastics training, and so like getting some different flips and stuff down to where like I could potentially like combine the two, like hit a home run and then like tumble, land on home plate with
Yeah.
like a tumbling routine in there as well.
I think I saw that video of you try to do a backflip. Like,
Yeah,
I just don't think my body operates that way. And I
yeah.
saw you do it, and like you had the forward and back angle. Everybody should check out Eric's like TikTok. Like the videos are sick.
Eric Jones Jr. underscore
Eric Jones Jr. underscore. I
TikTok,
mean,
Instagram.
what, like thousands of followers and everything. That's pretty sick. To
Yeah, I got 26 on TikTok and almost 10 on Instagram. But most of that is from just being tagged from the bananas,
yeah,
um,
that's amazing though.
and doing cool pieces that the bananas post, like the Weekend at Bernie's did
Hmm.
like 3 million on Instagram, and then like the most popular video I did was just coming up to hit. I put a lampshade on my head, and they had the other Pixar letters,
Yeah,
and I jumped on the eye like they do in Pixar, like to the beat,
yeah.
and that did like 25 million on YouTube and 10 million on Instagram and like
What
another
a
10 on
world.
TikTok. Yeah.
You better get some residuals for that, my guy.
No, we ain't getting no residuals off of that. That's why we got to build our own individually.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I
but
almost think about that.
I get
Like,
the followers off of that. Like I get tagged in it. People are
yeah.
like, "Who's doing that funny video?" And then
Hmm.
funnels to me
One
indirectly, but still helps.
one day I'm gonna see you on like a Ford commercial. It'll be like Savannah Bananas, Eric Jones.
Man,
Be like,
that would help the bank account.
wouldn't that be nice,
I'd
dude?
take a
Yeah.
Ford too. I got a Toyota right now, but I'd take a Ford.
Hey, Savannah Bananas, if you guys want to sponsor the Luck Management podcast, just let
Oh
me
yeah,
know. Always looking for sponsors, eager
might be able to get
sponsors.
you some on-field access for a game or something.
Some merch, yeah. Be
Do
like,
some content.
is this some Luck Management right here? I mean, speaking of that, dude, I mean, it's all about this idea of
Ayo Luckies! Today's episode is brought to you by CharmND, as always, but we have a special collaboration today. So every episode going forward for the month of December is going to be a collaboration with Kathleen Kiefer. And you can find her on Instagram at Kathleen Kiefer Artist below. But what we are doing is we are doing an amazing collaboration for the Christmas time so you can be in the Irish spirit. And what we are doing is we are taking my keychains. So there is a keychain with the typical soil and 24 karat gold flakes in a vial. Then you have the old wood from the stadium seating. And then you have the AstroTurf from the actual Notre Dame football stadium, all in a keychain with an Irish charm. Kathleen made these Celtic knot ornaments that are fantastic. They're beautiful, they're pristine, they're glittery green, they're gorgeous. What we are doing is we're doing a prize pack together, and we're doing a limited release of 10 of them. So 10 of them being sold, it'll be a total of $85, and shipping is usually around $5 or $6. And if you buy from the bundle pack of the 10, you get entered into a raffle for a free one. So you have to be one of the 10 people. You have a 10% chance of winning not only one ornament and a keychain, but 2 ornaments and 2 keychains. That is a literal $90 value that you could be getting for free by being involved in this. So please check out charm_ND on Instagram, but also look out for different promos that we're doing with Kathleen Kiefer Artist on Instagram. Kathleen was episode number 63 guest, and she was fantastic. If you haven't heard her episode, please go check it out. It is awesome. So get excited, check out our work on Etsy and throughout Instagram, and hopefully you get to win. So go Irish and go CharmND. Now let's get back to the show.
right? You
Uh-huh.
could be put into a interesting situation and you could get lucky, you make that light, or you got a lottery ticket and you hit the jackpot. But the idea behind this luck management is what did you do to get to that point, and what have you done to maybe secure those opportunities that were presented and given to you? And I'd love to be able to start back a little bit on your baseball career and on your time to getting here, because somebody just thinks like, oh, he's just on the Savannah Bananas. Like, how did he get there? But I know a little bit of your background and your story of playing baseball, and you've been up and down and around the country, playing in amazing places, playing in places that you never thought happened. And why don't we just start like talking about like college and like how you moved to where you are now?
Yeah. So even in high school, like I knew that I wanted to take my baseball career as far as it would go.
Travel
Um,
ball,
Playing travel ball, which is where me and Carter met, eighth grade travel
eighth
ball
grade.
team.
Man, I
And back
I
when
had it
Carter was a
all.
serious baseball player, or at
I gave
least
it
a
up for
good one.
podcasting.
I don't know how serious you were, but you were a good one.
I
And
could ball.
then
I could ball.
and then playing in high school, decided to change high schools after 2 years to go to a better baseball program to potentially give myself more opportunities to play in college. Um,
South Mech, shout out.
Shout out. Had some injuries, got hit in the face, broke my eye socket, which was a setback.
That's
Um,
crazy. How
you
were
remember
you
that?
just afraid? Yeah, you were like that close to losing your eyesight, right?
Yeah, well, it was swollen so bad that that night in the ER, they didn't know whether my eye was operational or anything anymore because they couldn't get to it because it was just so swollen up. And that happened in like the biggest recruiting event of my junior year, which is like the prime
Yeah.
recruiting window.
Yeah,
And
you're
that felt like
fighting. No,
it
you're
felt like
just
a
like
big,
fighting for people to like look at you and see you play, and like,
exactly.
and then
Yeah,
you're like, oh, cross them off.
it was at Charlotte Knight Stadium at like it's called the State Games, like big recruiting event. But it felt like a big crossroad where it was like, okay, I can let this injury like deter me and like have an excuse, or I can like do it in spite of that, which was like always the plan. Got back to working out as soon as possible, and then back on the field ASAP. And I went to a camp because of that injury that Davidson ended up seeing me at. They really liked me, and it just became clear with the academics and being close to home and scholarship offer that like that was going to be a good opportunity for me
Yeah.
to play and play early and be a guy. And
Well,
um,
dude, that was like a pinnacle moment. Like you got injured. Like you were literally at that point of being like something I've wanted to do for all this time, and then now it might be in jeopardy. But then you're like, I still have an opportunity. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go do it. And
yeah,
then Davidson sees you. Like, if anything, that probably just fueled you that much more.
yeah, it definitely right when coming back to playing was like, okay, I got an eye that's still tender or whatever, like some bones that potentially aren't all the way healed back. But like, am I gonna be scared of like another injury, or am I gonna get in there and be tough and like hit the ball?
Yeah.
Because you gotta hit the ball to play. And
You probably get a little
there's
scared, right? Like, just like
yeah,
initially,
well,
like, whoa.
everybody has that fear, and it's warranted because if the ball hits you, it can do damage, and it's natural to feel scared. Um, but it's just like, are you gonna let that fear like overcome you, or are you going to put yourself in a position to succeed in spite of it? And
100%.
it was like you just don't have time to waste, like especially at that age. Like recruiting's happening, things are moving fast. Every weekend is an opportunity to stand out and prove yourself, and it was just like can't waste time. Um, so like I had one weekend back with like my travel team, and then after that went to this camp up in New York and hit a bomb and played good and was
Let's
throwing
go.
good. And the Davidson coach was like all over me. and it wasn't like the number one place I had like envisioned myself going, but
I remember you looked at like Villanova. I remember that was one of them.
yeah, I
You went
took a
out to
visit
Philly.
there and thought that that could be good. Played really well at their camp. They didn't end up offering me, which was
Their mistake.
stupid. That was stupid. And I went to Wake Forest camp, and the coach said he was going to offer me, and I played amazing. Told my dad he was going to offer me, and then called our high school coach and told me that they weren't going to offer me, and then talked to me on the
Really,
phone and said that you shouldn't come here, not even as a walk on. And
really.
yes,
What was all that about? Just
just
like,
they said that they had money already tied up in somebody else, that they liked me as a player, but that this guy they'd already put money into, and with their money situation, he was going to get the opportunities. And that's just how recruiting goes. It's a tough world.
well, you want to go where
Um,
you're wanted, dude. At the
that's
end of the
exactly
day,
right, and that's why I
like
wanted to go to Davidson, because
they wanted
they
you.
wanted me and they put the money where their mouth was, and that's an indication of how they want you, and it gives you opportunities.
Yeah,
You know, if you go somewhere else, even you
Davidson's
could be better than
incredible.
the other guy, but if he's getting the opportunities, it can be tough to ever prove yourself.
Dude, okay. Villanova, I remember you told me something that stuck with me was like it was a good program, but like the baseball field, everything was kind of separated from
Yeah.
campus. Like you had to drive
Yep.
really far. I think you wanted to be integrated. You had Davidson, that the campus is stunning,
Yeah.
gorgeous, North Carolina baseball, Huntersville, right by the lake. You're on campus, you live out right by there. You have a college that wants you. Like, dude, I felt that when I was going to colleges too. Like getting in or getting waitlisted or being like, oh yeah, well maybe if a couple other people don't make it, it's like, no, I want to go where I'm wanted. I
Yes.
don't. What does this matter to me that like I'm not gonna wait for you? If anything, it needs to be a mutual agreement.
Totally. It's all about finding that fit. And they talk about that a lot in recruiting, and recruiting is a whole lot different now because you can transfer anytime and they got transfer portal and all that stuff. But
Is there
especially,
NIL in baseball happening right now?
yeah,
Really?
yeah, for sure.
You probably
Um,
could have made some money.
I probably could have made some money, and I probably could have transferred somewhere else and gone to the big school and had a big
Yeah.
deal and probably end up getting drafted high. And, who knows how that trajectory changes. But when we were coming up, you're making hopefully a 4-year commitment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out, then you have to go to junior college and try to re get recruited. But junior college has taken some strides for sure since we come up. That didn't even really like cross my mind as too much of an option, especially like I
It's
had
more
D1
sports now.
interests.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
it's way more focused on sports. Like before, I think it really started with in that I started to understand it was Cam Newton, like how
Yeah.
he left Florida and then went to
Yeah.
JUCO, and it was like, oh, it's actually a launching ground if you're good enough to play.
It's a very popular path for players that, because now with the transfer portal and everything, all these schools have their pick of the mill from 23-year-old fifth year seniors and guy that's redshirted and played 4 years or whatever. So if you're coming up out of high school, like how are you going to compete as an 18-year-old against these 23-year-olds that have had
You're
four
really
years of
not.
training?
Yeah,
So it's a tough landscape out there. Unless you're like a prodigy or like one of those guys that like has the opportunity to play professionally already.
yeah.
Um,
So do
but
you
we've
like
seen.
it, or are you kind of like a little bit like, I
I
liked what we had because I had to work for it a little bit more.
I think it's good that people can be compensated financially for the value that they're creating, but I think what it's done to the college sports landscape is not positive on
Yeah,
all. I think it's really hurting like the immersive experience, getting like a 4-year education, picking a place out to call your home, and um, like having like an alma mater. It feels like people now, it's just you pick a temporary spot to go somewhere else, and you have no ties to that school. It's purely business.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's
which
hard.
that's how everything's going, especially in the social media age. It's like it's all about the numbers, it's all about the clicks. It's you're losing a little bit of that like
That
homey interpersonal
authenticity.
feel. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, just as like an example there, Notre Dame is in that same sort of situation. Like they are dealing with NIL and they want to be able to get players and they have some transfers come in and out. But then it's like, hey, Notre Dame football is much more than that. It's like trying to honor tradition. You have to do well for grades. And there's all these people that want to insert themselves, but like if you can't make the mark, then you're hurting the university as a whole. And so it's like, do you take the sports first? Do you take that first? There's definitely a lot of leeway for the sports players because like that can bring revenue back into the school and like it gets excitement and it gets people wanting to go. Like who doesn't want to go to a good baseball game? Like watching a
right.
good baseball team play. And I guess that leads into like you guys were good. Like you guys really came up and beat Texas A&M in the College
Yeah.
World Series. Like tell me about that experience, how that felt.
Oh, that was great. Especially so what he's referring to my sophomore year, we ended up making the A10 tournament and then winning it and then going to the Chapel Hill Regional, and they were the number 2 national seed and we won their regional,
Yeah.
which was a really great experience because my whole family is Chapel Hill fans. That would have been like my number 1 school. They weren't interested in recruiting me,
You said
so
watch this.
went in there, whooped them twice on their field, and they're acting like babies, just absolutely like mentally breaking
Josh
down.
Hyatt.
Just I got Josh was a good dude. I got to like
All
just
love, Josh.
all of 'em. Uh, just the whole. It was like just very satisfying to go in and perform so well against them, and then played 2 good games at Texas A&M, and we just came up a little bit short. Um, but put together a really special run that kind of validated how good we thought we could be and validated like my choice to go to Davidson, and really kind of like took the program and put it in a really positive direction where now better recruits want to come because they've had success, and we can get more funding for
Yeah.
the program and take it on that next track. And
Why wouldn't a very smart kid want to go play baseball at Davidson? Like, yeah, maybe you could do it at Vanderbilt or, yeah, Wake Forest
yeah,
has like some good sports, but like the education factor, I'm sure the alumni network, like it's just it stands alone, right? And so I did you end up getting out of Davidson with like that feeling of like, wow, this is much more than baseball.
yeah, I did. I was always focused on baseball, but I felt really good about if baseball doesn't work out, I got a million connections, opportunities, uh, people I can call on, valuable experience that I've learned from navigating life there. Um,
No, that's cool. That's what you want.
it's a great community, very tight knit, and they were very excited about bananas. The school wrote a piece on the bananas and us coming to Kannapolis,
No
and
way. Were they like Eric Jones, Davidson?
yeah, yeah, they're like former Davidson standout playing for Bananas in Kannapolis.
You got any like records or anything from your Davidson days or
Yeah, I was
how'd
like
you play?
top 10 offensively in basically like every category.
Let's
Uh,
go.
tied first for single season RBIs, which I think has since been
Get him in,
broken.
dude. Get him in.
Yeah, and like third overall in career hits. Um,
Jeez.
and like tied with teammates on like career wins.
Yeah,
Like our
coming up.
class set the highest win total in program history. Um, So, and I had like two conference tournament, like all tournament team, and two like most valuable players for Davidson's team. Um, so
Y- Yeah, man, you've always been just like a extremely solid, consistent baseball player, and you were doing a lot of catching back then and a little bit of
yeah,
third. And I
hmm
guess you've like transitioned a little bit more to third base for the most
yeah,
part.
yeah. I played a lot of first base for the Bananas this past year. Um,
He's a
but
liability. Put him at
catcher
first.
and third, no man, it was actually
You
the
have to have
opposite.
you have to have hands, dude.
I
Yeah,
had to
you got to
go
be
in
ready.
like, well, so what happened was like this year, 2 years ago when I played for the Bananas, me and another guy would alternate every game, catcher third, and we'd alternate every game.
Hmm.
Um, then I went and played regular baseball. I played in the Atlantic League, which is like the best independent league. And then I went and took a job for the Seattle Mariners bullpen
Yeah,
catching.
yeah. I want to get into that too.
We will. When I came back to Bananas this year, we had a new coach, and I kind of had to like re-earn my standing.
Oh,
Um, they had already been doing stuff in the fall, so they had another guy over there playing third. They had another guy playing first, and
you got to figure
I
it out.
was catching some, but DHing a lot.
You said, "Give me
And
my field back."
yeah, I'm like, come on, like let's call a spade here. Had to go in and win my position in the field. What ended up happening was the guy that played first base got hurt, and I played first base for a month, and then basically just like stayed over there the rest of the year. The guy that played third base got hurt, I played there for like 3 weeks. Um,
I mean, in a sense, that's luck management, right? Like you got
yeah,
lucky, like even though it's not lucky for them to get hurt or anything, but like you
you
got
get
lucky to be,
opportunities.
you got the opportunity, right? But
Yes.
you could have squandered it. You could have lost it.
Oh yeah.
You could have played bad or, not shown up to a practice or been late. No, but you did the consistent work day in, day out to earn that job back. And now they don't even think about moving you around.
Right. Um, Now I just coached my little brother's 12U team actually, and one of the things I talk to them all the time about is you only get a few opportunities a game. You might only get one ground ball a game. You might only get three at bats a game, two at bats a game. You have to capitalize on your opportunities. You don't know when your opportunities are coming, but you have to be ready for them. And when they present
Whoa.
themselves, you have to capitalize. You can't back down from the situation, from the moment. Um, Baseball is all about being ready for your opportunities, and you don't know when they're coming, but you got to be ready.
Someone told me yesterday, luck follows speed. And I really do believe that. Like, you have to be ready and you have to be quick to make a decision there because as time goes on, you just start to see, like, if you just miss something, you're like, dang, I just missed that opportunity to maybe do something big. Baseball is a little bit weird, though, where you almost have to put yourself in the right position and it comes to you, but then you got to capitalize on it.
Yeah. It's like a lot
'Cause-
of
yeah.
planning, a lot of preparation, a lot of anticipation goes into being ready for those moments. Because then when it happens, you just react. It happens so
Yeah.
quick. You don't have time to think when the opportunity presents itself.
I actually, this may sound crazy and out of left field, no pun intended, but this, the world that like we look at and like the way I think you can look at life a lot like a baseball game. Like, there's some boring parts. If you're sitting out left field and you're not getting hits or something, or there's like a lot of camaraderie. You have to like get yourself back engaged for just those quick moments to actually do, you know, compete or be what you want to be, and then being put into like a teamwork environment because you can't win a baseball game on your own. Yeah, like you might be able to hit a home run, but that's one run, right? You got
Mhm.
pitchers, you got catchers, you got guys thinking and flying around the field at all moments. Like it's a really big team sport that I think uh, gives you a better outlook or like idea of how you want to take on life.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good analogy. Um, yeah, you can only do your job,
Yeah,
and you need a full team of people bought in and capable of doing their job well. And when you're all working towards that common goal and supporting each other, the success is often inevitable. But it's
yeah,
when you start to have breaks in that chain of somebody gets selfish or somebody doesn't want to do their job or somebody isn't paying attention, then the whole team suffers as a result of one person a lot of times. Same with football. I think that's why team sports are so great because
yeah.
it teaches you it's about more than just yourself, and it humbles you. I think that's one of the things with baseball and why people give it, say it's boring or people don't play with emotion or whatever, just because it's such a humbling game where you fail all the time and your success directly comes at the opposition of somebody's failure, that you have to
Whoa,
treat it with respect and you have to treat your opponent with respect because the game will always humble you. And
that's the truth.
right, if you come at it from a place of arrogance or like an egotistical point of view, like the numbers just show like you're gonna lose in the long run.
That's
Um,
okay. That's actually very interesting because I talked about this last week with one of my buddies. Like, we worry about some of like the social media around baseball, and the biggest guy in the league right now is Shohei Ohtani. He's got
mhm,
5 million followers, and like
mhm,
that's not mass. Or I think that might be in the U.S. I don't know Japan and stuff, but
yeah.
like LeBron James has 230 million followers,
Wow. Yeah.
and a whole different world. But like this humble nature of baseball being like you will get humbled by the game. People don't try and show off. Like there's not really many guys trying to be like, I'm the fucking best. I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like that's I didn't notice that. That's interesting. Like it's a part of the game because if you're 30% of the time right, then you're a Hall of Famer. Like
Right.
crazy.
Yeah. It's because everybody's been through those points where they haven't been good and where they've struggled and where the game has beat them up. And even so, when I was bullpen catching, one of the biggest things I took away from that was just like it seemed like all of those players were very like devout in their faiths, and that's one of those things that can help get people through those struggles.
Totally.
And you just have to stay uh, humble, but also like hopeful that good will happen. Faith, like you have to have a lot of faith that the future will be positive because oftentimes like the present or your past has been bad. So
Yeah.
if you have three strikeouts in a game, you have to be optimistic and you have to expect that your next at bat will go well because if you have
Delusional. You
three
got to be a little
strikeouts,
delusional, right?
yeah, if you have three strikeouts and then you hit a home run, you had a great day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you go 1 for 4 with a home run, you had a great day.
Don't nobody can tell you otherwise,
You
right?
did. You did. You'll play forever.
Okay, so how
So,
is your faith has your faith like really developed through the game of baseball, you think?
yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the main things that like keeps me going. Uh
Yeah.
keeps me optimistic of the future about things working out for the better, regardless of whatever path that takes. It's like you feel capable of handling whatever is brought to you because it's bigger than you. And when you're in these big moments or when you're nervous or fearful, um, it takes all that burden off of you because you're trying to do it for a bigger purpose to glorify
Uh-huh.
God and like let Him shine through you and let you like be the vessel for His light. And I think
Yeah.
that mentality, um, and carry you farther than you can ever carry yourself.
You can even imagine, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So, first off, a couple things. I do love that aspect of like all faith and glory through God. I don't know if you saw like the latest videos coming out of CJ Stroud. And like he's pretty like devout and like he's like I'm happy I can honor him and perform well.
Right.
It's not like God is making me good, but it's like it's good to be able to perform, just to
He's
be.
giving you that opportunity to glorify him.
Yeah, yeah, and like to be able to do that in sports, like, and baseball is one of those crazy sports where people can get the yips, where like you can lose half the game, over half the game, 80% of the game is mental right there.
Yep.
And I had like those moments there where it was hard for me in baseball and stuff. And you have to get out of that, or you have to like really rewire your brain. And I will say, up on the podcast, there was a moment when you were getting out of college, and you're like, "Hey, man, what should I be doing? Should I keep pursuing? Should I do this or that?" And I want to apologize because at that first moment, I was like, "Yeah, man, it might be time to maybe hang it up," or like, "Hey, yeah, go through this summer, see what's going on, and then maybe you got to figure out a job." I mean, you had a great undergrad, like good education, like you'd be successful in whatever you did. And I was like, hey, maybe it's time to hang up. I was like, hey, I'm your agent. I gotta I gotta think about your future. We always joke that I was his agent, but you continuing to have that faith and finding your, no matter which way, nothing is ever just straight up linear. But to be where you are right now, man, like it makes me so like proud and happy to see you still playing baseball and doing something that like fits within you. So like kudos to you to just like keeping that faith.
Well, thank you, man. And also, you don't need to feel bad about that at all because I think that was a voice of reason in a lot of ways. And I know I could have been successful in other aspects outside of baseball. And actually, the guy that was my agent told me that too. He's like, because
I'm
so,
just doing the
right,
smart financial thing.
yeah, right after the draft, so I had
Yeah,
surgery on my shoulder going into my senior year. I had a torn shoulder playing all of my junior year, which was why I didn't get drafted. And um, after that, I was at home, a little bit bitter,
yeah,
and you're deciding what to do. I had an opportunity come up to play independent ball in a small league that wasn't one of the main independent leagues. Um, but I was kind of with you. I was kind of like, what's going to come out of it? Uh, it's such a long grind to get there. My agent was telling me, hey, this could really be a blessing because you're not going to waste 5 years on a career where you could go get some real experience and get a leg up in the working world and
yeah.
stuff. Um, but my parents really encouraged me to play and give it a shot, which was definitely refreshing because I don't know that I would have done that without them encouraging me to do that. But once I decided that I was going to go,
I don't think you
yeah,
would have done it though if you weren't like that good too though. Like you
yes,
also knew that like,
I
yo,
knew
I
I was
can
really
do
good.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I was really good. Um,
And they did too.
I
Like
I
they
felt
knew.
confident I could go and dominate a league. Um, and then once I decided that I was going to go, I knew I was going to be all in. I was like, if this is my last summer playing, I'm going to give everything I got. I'm going to train hard. I'm going to I'm going to play my best. I'm not going to leave anything out there. I'm going to enjoy playing. Um, and after a couple, so I started off just amazing. I hit a home run my first game. Um,
Nice. Good start. Hot start.
Great start. Came in hot. Played good. And still hadn't heard anything from any teams or anything. And I remember I put on my phone. I was like, all right, like there's 1 month left of the season. Like this is gonna be like my Rocky mode. I'm going full 100% in. I'm
Tear
going
it
to
up.
sleep. I'm sleeping right. I'm eating right. I'm training like a maniac. I'm gonna leave everything out there, and I ended up getting signed by the Twins out of that league.
That's insane, dude. Like that last
Yeah,
month, do you think that's what put it over the edge?
I think so. I think well, because I was having success and not getting the result I wanted, getting signed by an organization.
Ayo, this episode is sponsored and brought to you by Charm ND. Charm ND specializes in creating unique and authentic sterling silver vials and real items from around the Notre Dame campus. Each charm is carefully handmade and contains a little piece of the Fighting Irish spirit. Vials filled with dirt from the iconic main quad, pellets from the hollowed ground of the Notre Dame football stadium, wood shavings from the seats of the stadium, 24-karat golds from the Notre Dame football helmets, water from the serene St. Joseph's Lake, candle wax from the peaceful grotto, water from the Notre Dame reflecting pond, and holy water for added blessings. Charms are priced at between $20 and $30 and can be customized to your needs as a necklace or a lucky charm. Check us out at charm_ND at Instagram. Our charms are a perfect gift for any Notre Dame fan or alum. So go Charm ND and go Irish. Now let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
And it was definitely discouraging because I was playing so well and my numbers were off the charts. And I was like, okay, let's not self destruct here. Like, I've done that at different points in my career where things aren't going the way you want and you just like try to
Fuck it.
fold
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
separate yourself from it and be like, whatever, like it's over. Um, I was like, okay, let's see
Just
how
play
much
for
more
it.
I can do. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
try to take it to that next level. So it's like there's only 1 month left. And like
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out, I don't know that I would go play indie ball again the next year.
You
Um,
took that pressure off, dude. You were just like, I'm just gonna be me. Like it's so
yeah,
crazy, like when you stop trying so hard for something that it might actually come your way.
yeah. Or at least like removing the fear of like if it doesn't work out, like what am I gonna do? It's like
Yeah.
if you're gonna do something, do it all out, leave it all out there. Don't fear the failure. Like feel fear not giving everything. Um,
I had clipped that.
yeah, you gotta pursue whatever you're doing in life with your fullest intent. And that's kind of the approach I'm trying to take to the bananas, to the social media, to the entertainment,
Yeah.
to every aspect of my job there. I'm trying to do it the best I can. But going back to the story with the Twins, so they sent me down and I got to play 5 games in rookie ball, which I hit the ball hard. I didn't have a great batting average, but I was smacking the ball good. I
Yeah,
only got
yeah.
16 at bats.
Some people
And
just look at
then
stats though, right? Like they
I
just
know, right? Yeah. But
it doesn't help. Yeah.
they really liked me. They were like, your average exit velocities are high, and uh, I was hitting home runs like in batting practice and
Bomb squad.
stuff. Yeah, which was the Twins. That's what they're all about. And went to spring training in 2020, and COVID happened. Got sent home.
Completely
Trained all
changes everything, right?
trained all year. Got released in September, having only played 5 games for the organization.
Dang.
And they loved me in spring training. They're calling me Donaldson Jr. because I was leg kicking, hitting home runs.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And so missed an entire year of playing in 2020.
Not the Yankees, Donaldson.
Yeah,
The Blue Jays,
Twins.
Donaldson.
Yeah, exactly. When they had just got him from the Blue Jays and he was the man. I mean, he still is solid. Did good
I know.
for the
I'm giving
Brewers.
him
It's
a
just the
hard time.
Yankees. It's just the Yankees, man. Nobody plays good for the Yankees.
Nobody does.
Um, so go play indie ball again in 2021. Uh, again, I get there, they don't want to play me, right? They don't know me. They got other guys that have been
It's
other
like you're having to start
places.
from ground zero again.
Every
Yeah.
time. Every time you're on a new team, you have to prove yourself and make it so obvious that they can't not put you in there. Everybody wants to say, everybody in their point has had a coach that they haven't got along with. A lot of people will let coaches ruin the game for them, but what you
Yeah.
really have to do is just make it so obvious that they don't have a choice because ultimately they want to win games. Um,
And you got to put
but
yourself
whatever.
there.
Yeah, so had to lobby the coach, basically tell him I'm leaving if I don't get a chance type thing. Get in there, play well, send my video out, and get signed by the Mariners.
Which,
So
like, boom, you came in, you said, "Hey, I need some playing time. Like, I need to show it off," and you did. And then the
yeah,
Mariners come swooping in.
yep. So go rookie ball, play good. They send me to single A. I hit 353. I'm hitting third in the order. Uh, with a bunch of prospects. Some dudes are already in the majors, and I had way better batting average than all those dudes. When I was with the
Not a big
Mariners,
deal.
I did. And when I was with the Mariners, it was all about your strike zone awareness. So swing at the stuff in the very center and take everything else. That was the
Really?
whole, yes, that was the hitting philosophy, and we were graded on that. And like a point system every game where they would evaluate which pitches you're swinging at. And that
Wow.
was the whole thing. Versus when I was with the Twins, it was try to hit home runs. Um,
Wow. Yeah, different team philosophies right there.
yes. So I bought in. I did really well with my strike zone recognition. Hit 350. Uh, didn't strike
Proof is in the
out.
pudding. Yeah.
Didn't strike out. And then at the end of the season, I see on Twitter I'm a free agent again.
Off of Twitter, like no
I
one
didn't get
talked to you?
re-signed. Nobody told me anything. When I signed with the Twins, I was under a uniform player contract. I went to spring training the next year without hearing anything. When I signed with the Mariners, apparently I was on a 1-year deal. I didn't have an agent at this point either. I was on a 1-year
Sorry,
deal.
man. I've been busy.
I might have could have used you right there.
Good deal. Good deal.
Um, and so season was up, my contract was up, nothing. And I text the guy that signed me. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like, what's going on? Am I gonna hear anything? And he's like, oh, sorry, should have been more clear. We'll let you know if there's a fit. Never heard anything.
Dang. After
Um,
going 350.
after hitting 350.
That's
So
ruthless.
I'm training again, getting ready for next season. I'm gonna go back to indie ball and the Bananas. So I'm training with a friend, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to this tryout for the Savannah Bananas World Tour," and I'm like, "Uh." So I played with the Bananas before. I played 2 games of regular baseball with the Bananas during COVID,
Yeah.
and I decided to go to this tryout, and I had a good inclination that I would make the tour before I went to tryout, but basically to train for regular baseball. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
it would be better to be outside on a real field. Our head coach is Eric Burns, who's a MLB Network analyst and 10-year big leaguer, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we'll have good connections.
Totally.
And it'd be better to do this, make a little money, than keep paying rent and training. Uh, so did that. It was 6 weeks. Went and played regular indie ball after. Took the bullpen catching job because so when I went to the Atlantic League, basically same situation,
Hmm.
right? New team, except now all the other guys have major league experience.
Oh, so
So
you're even having to prove yourself that much more now.
so yeah, you really haven't improved yourself. I
You're like,
got
I
like
played the Bananas.
except instead of being around college kids,
You're
you're around
not.
the kids with the guys with the major league experience. It's a totally different clubhouse feel. Uh Totally different team dynamics. I got like 20 at bats for that team in 6 weeks, and didn't play great, and it was just like obvious I had to move.
Figure something out. Yeah.
Yeah, I needed to go back to another league or something, and the Mariners offered me the bullpen catching job because of a guy I went to college with.
No
Was
way.
scouting for the team, so he was the one that recommended me, and
And
ended up.
that was an insane season, man. You went on one of like the coolest rides for the Mariners in a really long time.
So when I got there, we were 10 games under 500. Stuff was hitting the fan.
Yeah, things were
Heads were
not looking
falling
good.
off. Everybody's losing their minds. And now, obviously, I'm not out there playing, but we ended the season 18 games over 500. Made playoffs for the first time in 21 years.
You're plus 28, dude. You're plus
That's what I'm saying.
28.
That's what I'm saying. In like a wild, in a short, like I joined the team in the end of May
Hmm.
and won the wild card series. We're up in Houston, and then Jordan Alvarez bent us over his knee. But
Dude,
uh,
those Astros, bro. You can't beat them. You can't like even if they're cheaters, like they're good
they're
cheaters,
good.
man.
Yeah, man. It really, we had all the momentum going in, and then like somebody said something to Jordan Alvarez, and he just went crazy.
Dude, don't talk to that man, dude.
That's what I'm
Don't
saying.
say
Leave him
anything.
alone. Let sleeping bears lie. Sleeping dogs lie. Don't poke the bear.
But I mean, hey, you almost fought Otani and Mike Trout, so that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that was a crazy thing. Another thing to come out of the season was Shohei Ohtani's face in the back of my jersey in a big brawl. The Mariners and the Angels, which like that was a big turning point in the season too.
You're
Um,
always one to get in on it. You're not going to be standing on the sidelines, bro.
I'm
You're,
definitely not standing on the sidelines. I'm also not in the middle throwing the haymakers, but you
yeah,
got to
yeah,
at least be
yeah. You got to get
in
the
the
juice.
action,
You got
making
to
a
get the
valiant
juice.
attempt to like break it up and like show solidarity with your teammates and uh not not being I'm not gonna say a bad
Not
word,
being an
but
instigator. Yeah, right.
yeah, but also not being soft. You know,
I
you
got
can't
you. I
be,
got you.
especially in like the context of a baseball clubhouse, especially at the major league level. There's no like softness or weakness that's like allowed. You know, like it's a place for men.
Yep.
Um,
Be professional. Get your job done.
yes, yes,
Get it. No, dude, I love that. And and then it brought you back to the bananas. And
right.
so when does everything get started again? Like
So
when do you get moving?
January 15th this year, I'll be down there. Uh, First games are like the end of February. So we'll have like a month to train and practice and
Nice.
scrimmage and stuff, and then um, it'll go through October.
Dude, it's a full year event right there. It's a
Yeah,
full so you're just kind
yeah,
of continuing to train, figure it out and living in Charlotte right now. It's probably been nice to be home a little bit though too.
yeah. Coaching my brother's team was great. Um, I've started to go down to Savannah a little bit to see the guys, and my girlfriend lives right outside Savannah, so it's
Nice, man.
been good to be able to go back down there and reconnect with some of the Bananas people. But yeah, January 15th will be back full swing and being being go mode, being show it's showtime.
It's showtime, man. I mean,
Yeah,
hey, they uh they shut down Showtime, that show, like
yeah,
Showtime Anytime. You might
uh-huh.
have to take over that. But
That's what this is, man.
what I could see you guys being is like almost having those characters like a little bit of WWE action too. Like,
That's what they're going for. They talk about that, like the storyline between the characters and the drama.
right?
Like they want all that. Yeah,
Yeah, like you can build especially in a 9 month, thing and people can follow those stories going throughout. And I mean, Dude, yeah, tell everyone we're coming up on an hour here, and
Yeah,
I think what we should do is we should do like a, in-year check-in, like
yeah,
hey, how's it going, or things like that.
definitely.
But dude, you embody the luck management lifestyle. You embody um, being just like a solid dude that's always been one of my best friends since I met you. Neighbors since what, 2007, 2008, and look at us now, like
Yeah,
pursuit.
it's cool, man. I'm super pumped that you're planning to head back to Charlotte too. It'll be
Yep.
great to have you in the area, and it's been awesome staying close friends. We always have a good time whenever we're together, and
Dude, I just saw Noah this past weekend, and I was like, oh
yeah,
man, we gotta get the Three Musketeers back in here.
yeah, I'm sure you guys had a good time living a luck
Solid,
management
solid,
lifestyle.
solid. You obviously know it, man. But
Mhm.
we'll get together soon. So here, what are your socials again? One more time.
Eric Jones Jr. _ TikTok and Instagram.
All right, check out Eric Jones. Like he's gonna be on ESPN all the time. He's gonna be, he's got a face for TV, so he'll be good there.
Thanks, man.
Growing,
Appreciate
growing
that.
out the stash, growing out
Yeah,
the
you saw I went as
dude.
Travis Kelsey for Halloween. Did you
Yeah, it
see
was good
that?
looks.
What I still got the
You
look
still
going a little
got
bit.
it, bro. And she
I'm,
was
I'm I'm
Taylor.
thinking I might shave the face here soon. I stayed
Yeah.
clean shaven all year with the Bananas, but I grew the mustache out when I was with the Mariners.
Hey, dude, no shave November. Let
That's
it let
it.
it ride for a little bit.
That's it.
All right. Well, wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple or Spotify, or you can find us on YouTube. Keep living the luck management lifestyle. Peace.